people, and welcome to my review for Queen of Katwe. So, Queen of Katwe stars Lupita Nyong'o and David Oyelowo, one having been nominated for an Oscar, the other having won. And it follows around a true story of a character named Fiona, who begins to play chess in a very poor neighborhood, and it's how her rise of fame, of how good she is at chess, and it's an incredible real life story, which, you know, two words, true and story, are two words that will basically guarantee you to be noticed by the Oscars, because I believe that 7 out of the 8 nominees from last year were based on true stories, and that's why this was Disney's big push towards the Best Picture category at the Oscars, because Disney really didn't have anything locked up to go for that Best Picture, but Queen of Katwe just appeared to him, so that's what they've been doing. So they premiered it at TIFF International and I believe a few other places, and it got good reviews, which is the main reason I was super excited to see this movie, just because it had amazing reviews and 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and people were saying that this could be, you know, a Best Picture nominee. And while I came out of it thinking that I don't think it would be a Best Picture nominee, this is definitely a really, really good movie that I can recommend for pretty much anyone to go see. Mostly just because of how entertaining this movie is. You know, a movie like last year, Pawn Sacrifice, was a movie that was fine. It was an okay movie, but it was so boring and it dragged on for a really long amount of time. But Queen of Katwe was able to make an entertaining movie revolving around chess, something most people find very boring and pretty much no one watches for entertainment. So usually doing movies based on games like that, checkers, chess, or just board games in general, usually leave the audience in a state of being just bored on what's going on. But this movie was able to make a really entertaining film out of that concept, which I really enjoyed. Also, the acting was just really, really good. There were a couple times that the youth actors were a bit over the top, but you can usually expect that from youth actors. But for mostly everyone, it was great, especially David Oyelowo, who really had a large character arc, who went through a lot of stuff throughout the film, you know, trying to train someone who's so good at what they do. It's something that's new to him, and really, he's in between the line of poverty and not in poverty. He's sort of in between that line, to the point that he's living in a country that's very, very poor, yet at the same time he has a watch, he has a phone, that kind of stuff. And it was really interesting to see his character's dynamic with, you know, the kids in this film that are poor, that do not have as much money and have a hard means of living. Also, the humor throughout this movie was great. It was very, very brief, but it fit the tone of the movie very, very well. The final chess sequence was very, very intense and very worth watching, because usually, you know, in chess movies, it'll be that they don't really show any chess sequence until the final one that's used to be super, you know, edge of your seat, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And that's pretty much what they did in this movie. It was predictable of what was going to happen, so it wasn't, you know, edge on your seat, what's going to happen type of thing, but it was still a very, very well done chess sequence that was fun to watch. And what I also liked is that they made that scene, they made it so that that scene could be understood by people who don't play chess, because I was trying to watch it as if I didn't know how to play chess, and I was like, yeah, I pretty much understand what was happening throughout. And sure, the movie would be more enjoyable if you do play chess, but you don't have to enjoy the movie. And also the character arcs and relationships were all very, very well done. A lot of characters go through a lot of events that change who they are. No character is the same as they were at the beginning of the movie to the end. They all change, and they're all very well done. And just the connections that people have, you know, between the instructor and the mother of the poorer children, the connection between the mother and her children, the connection between the coach and the children, you know, all those connections were very, very well done and very well executed. However, as much as I have been praising this movie throughout the vid, there are quite a few bad things. It's fairly cliche. It falls under that Disney movie cliche that you find occasionally. Well, not occasionally, you find it very, very often in a lot of movies, and it was definitely present in here, and there was no real suspense and no real build-up, because you knew exactly what was going to happen. So it's lost a lot there, and also towards the beginning of the movie and also in the end, the scenes felt very, very short. They felt like they were just there to make their point and then continue on. They didn't feel like they were there to it felt oddly paced and oddly edited. I feel as if this was a 3-hour movie that they had to cut down to 2 hours, so they cut a lot of scenes and it had a weird pace to it. But overall, I can say that I really enjoyed Queen of Katwe, and it's the type of movie that, the whole family could enjoy. Because if you have a child that isn't so focused on their phones or anything like that and can take a slower movie that eventually becomes much better, then this is absolutely a movie that your whole family could enjoy. I'd recommend it to pretty much anyone, and that is why I would give Queen of Katwe a 7.5 out of 10. Without those weird pacing issues and without the clichéness of it, I would absolutely say that this could be a contender for the Best Picture nominee. Sadly, it does not reach there, but I still really enjoyed this movie. Alright, that concludes my review for Queen of Katwe. Did you see the movie? And if so, what did you think about it? Comment below. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.